The moment space travel becomes free, human civilization faces its most dramatic transformation since the invention of the Internet. Within days, spaceports become the new airports, with millions of people queuing up for their first extraterrestrial experience. This unprecedented accessibility triggers a cascade of immediate changes that reshape our society, economy, and human psychology. The first and most obvious impact is the complete disruption of the current space industry. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin, which built their business models around expensive launch systems, must rapidly pivot. Instead of focusing on transportation, they transition to space hospitality, orbital construction, and deep space support services. The space tourism industry explodes, but not in the luxury segment they originally envisioned. Earth's orbit quickly transforms into humanity's newest frontier. Within months, the first orbital hotels appear, catering to the masses rather than billionaires. These aren't the luxurious spaces once imagined, but practical, efficient structures more akin to hostels in the sky. The concept of a weekend getaway expands to include lunar excursions, and social media feeds fill with selfies taken against the backdrop of Earthrise. The psychological impact on humanity is profound. Overview effect. The cognitive shift reported by astronauts upon seeing Earth from space becomes a common human experience. This mass perspective shift leads to an unprecedented surge in environmental awareness and global unity. When millions can personally witness the fragility of our planet from orbit, climate change denial plummets, and international cooperation on environmental issues soars. Education undergoes a revolution. Schools organize regular space field trips, and astronomy classes take place in lunar observatories. Universities establish orbital campuses, where zero-gravity research becomes a standard part of scientific education. The boundary between Earth-based and space-based education blurs, creating a new generation of humans who see space as an extension of their natural environment. However, this democratization of space brings immediate challenges. Space traffic management becomes a critical issue, as millions of daily launches and returns must be coordinated. The problem of space debris multiplies exponentially, requiring urgent international cooperation to establish strict orbital traffic rules and cleaning protocols. As humanity adapts to free space access, deeper societal changes emerge. The concept of national borders begins to fade when anyone can view them from above or simply bypass them via space. New forms of governance emerge, with the first space-based nations declaring independence. These orbital states challenge traditional concepts of sovereignty and citizenship. The economy undergoes a fundamental restructuring. Mining asteroids becomes as common as operating terrestrial mines, flooding the market with precious metals and rare earth elements. This abundance of resources eliminates many traditional scarcity-based economic models. New industries emerge, focused on space construction, zero-gravity manufacturing, and deep space exploration support. Human biology itself begins to adapt. With millions living in variable gravity environments, medical science advances rapidly to address new health challenges. Genetic modification becomes commonplace to help humans better adapt to space living. The first generation of space-adapted humans is born, sparking intense ethical debates about the future of our species. The arts and culture experience a renaissance. Zero-gravity dance becomes a popular art form, while space-based musicians experiment with sound in a vacuum. New sports emerge, designed for variable gravity environments. Fashion evolves to accommodate space travel, with adaptive clothing becoming mainstream. Perhaps most significantly, the human perspective on time and distance fundamentally shifts. When weekend trips to Mars become commonplace, our species' conceptual boundaries expand dramatically. Long-distance relationships span planets rather than countries, and the concept of long distance itself is redefined. However, this new era also brings unprecedented challenges. The ease of space access leads to the first serious attempts at interstellar colonization, raising questions about humanity's right to expand into other star systems. The discovery of microbial life on distant moons forces us to establish new ethical frameworks for space exploration and colonization. The environmental impact of mass space travel, while different from traditional carbon emissions, requires careful management. New forms of space-based pollution emerge, and the challenge of preserving both Earth's and space's environments becomes increasingly complex. Social inequality takes on new dimensions. While space travel is free, the quality of experience, destination options, and access to advanced space-based services create new hierarchies. The gap between space-adapted and Earth-bound humans threatens to create new social divisions. As we approach the first century of free space travel, humanity stands at a crossroads. The technology that made space travel free has transformed us into a multiplanetary species. But the ultimate question remains: are we wise enough to handle this unlimited access to the cosmos?